Did you know that right now, over 208 million water buffaloes are being raised across 77 countries on 5 continents? That's right, these massive, powerful creatures aren't just wild animals roaming the plains. They're one of humanity's most valuable livestock resources, producing billions of dollars worth of milk and meat each year. The global buffalo empire. Let's talk about scale, and it's massive. Over 95.8% of the world's water buffaloes live in Asia, where they've been domesticated for thousands of years. India alone is home to nearly 98 million buffaloes. That's more than half the global population. Pakistan follows with over 23 million, while China maintains a herd of around 22.8 million. Imagine this, for every person in Australia, there are about 8 water buffaloes somewhere in the world. Yet most people know surprisingly little about how these animals contribute to global food security. These aren't just random numbers, they represent the backbone of rural economies across Asia. In countries like India, Pakistan, and Nepal, buffaloes aren't luxury animals. They're life-sustaining investments for millions of small-scale farmers who own just 1 or 2 animals. The white gold buffalo milk production. What makes buffalo milk so special? For starters, it contains up to 100% more fat than cow's milk and 40% more protein. This rich composition makes it ideal for producing premium dairy products like mozzarella cheese, ghee, and creamy desserts. The numbers are staggering. Global buffalo milk production is estimated at 127.34 million tons annually. To put that in perspective, if all that milk were loaded into tanker trucks, they would circle the earth multiple times. India leads global production with an output valued at nearly 50 billion USD in 2004 to 2006 PPP dollars, followed by Pakistan with 20.5 billion USD, and China with 1.5 billion USD. In fact, buffalo milk contributes a whopping 57% of total milk production in some regions. For small farmers, each buffalo is a living bank account. A single Murrah buffalo, one of the most productive dairy breeds, can yield 10 to 16 liters of milk per day, producing between 2,500 to 3,600 liters in a single lactation period that lasts 270 to 300 days. At current milk prices, that translates to substantial income for families with limited resources. The dairy process begins before dawn on millions of farms. Farmers rise early to milk their buffaloes, typically twice daily. The animals are fed a carefully balanced diet of fodder, concentrate mixtures, and minerals to maximize production. For every 2.5 kilograms of milk a buffalo produces, farmers provide 1 kilogram of concentrate mixture to sustain optimal yield. Unlike commercial dairy cows that might be productive for just 5 to 6 years, buffalo have remarkable longevity. A well-maintained buffalo can remain productive until her 9th lactation, around 16 years of age. This extended productive lifespan makes them extremely valuable assets in developing economies. From farm to plate, buffalo meat production. Now let's talk about meat. Buffalo meat, or poiti, often called cara beef, is the primary export animal product from India, the world's largest buffalo meat producer. In 2019, India produced over 1.6 million metric tons of buffalo meat, followed by Pakistan with 1.08 million metric tons, and China with 658,906 metric tons. The meat is particularly prized for being leaner than beef, with fat content below 2%, making it increasingly popular among health-conscious consumers. It's also considered free from the risk of bovine spongiform encephalopathy, mad cow disease, since buffaloes are typically grass-fed. The journey from farm to plate follows a carefully orchestrated process. In export-oriented facilities like those in India, buffaloes are transported to modern slaughterhouses capable of processing 600 to 1,000 animals daily. The animals undergo ante-mortem inspection before humane stunning using specialized equipment that renders them unconscious instantly. After slaughter, the carcasses are processed with remarkable efficiency. Skinning begins at the hind legs using specialized knives followed by removal and inspection of internal organs. The carcass is then split along the spine and thoroughly cleaned with chlorinated water before weighing. Here's something most people don't realize. Buffalo meat destined for export undergoes a 24-hour chilling process at temperatures between 2 to 4 degrees Celsius to improve meat quality and texture. Specialized workers then carefully debone the meat, a process requiring precision and skill to minimize waste. The deboned meat is packaged in corrugated boxes and frozen below -8 degrees Celsius for export. The global trade economic impact. The buffalo industry's economic impact is enormous. In 2023-24, India alone exported buffalo meat worth $3.74 billion, representing over 82% of the country's total animal product exports. The global buffalo meat export market in 2023 was valued at $6.326 billion, with India holding an astonishing 98.17% market share. Where does all this meat go? India exports buffalo meat to over 122 countries worldwide. As of December 2023, Portugal emerged as the largest market, importing $1.015 billion worth, accounting for 22.29% of India's buffalo meat exports. Malaysia and Vietnam follow as the second and third largest importers. The buffalo meat value chain is fascinatingly complex. In a typical arrangement, over 70% of processed meat is shipped directly to importing countries, while the remainder supplies local markets. When it reaches domestic markets, retailers take 87% of the supply, and restaurants take the remaining 13%. The human element, farming practices. Let's zoom in on the daily life of buffalo farming. For millions of small-scale farmers across Asia, the day begins before sunrise. The morning routine involves cleaning the animals in their shelters, providing fresh fodder, and the first milking session of the day. The housing requirements are specific. Well-ventilated shelters that protect from extreme weather while maintaining proper airflow. Water buffaloes thrive when they have access to water for wallowing, which helps regulate their body temperature as they lack sweat glands. The initial investment is substantial. A quality Murrah buffalo can cost between $600 to $1,600, depending on factors like milk yield, body structure, and genetic lineage. For many rural families, this represents years of savings, but the returns justify the investment. The nutritional management is scientific and precise. Challenges in sustainability. Despite its massive scale, the buffalo industry faces significant challenges. Climate change threatens traditional farming systems, while increasing land pressures reduce grazing areas. The industry is also working to address animal welfare concerns and environmental impacts. Traditional buffalo farming is labor-intensive, which becomes problematic as rural populations migrate to cities. Modern farms are increasingly adopting mechanization with automated milking systems and improved feed management technologies, focusing on enhancing milk yield, reproductive efficiency, and disease resistance. The goal is to develop animals that produce more while consuming fewer resources. In India, where religious sentiments protect cattle, buffalo meat production provides a culturally acceptable protein source. This has led to specialized breeding programs focused on dual-purpose buffaloes that excel at both milk and meat production. The future of buffalo farming. Looking ahead, the buffalo industry is embracing technology. Artificial insemination programs are expanding the genetic potential of herds. Health monitoring systems using IoT devices are being implemented on larger farms to detect illness early and optimize nutrition. The industry is also becoming more integrated, with processing companies establishing direct relationships with farmers to ensure consistent quality and supply. This integration helps small farmers access larger markets and technical assistance. Sustainability initiatives are gaining momentum. Research into reducing methane emissions from buffalo digestion is ongoing, while improved manure management systems help capture biogas for energy production. Some progressive farms are implementing silvopastoral systems where buffaloes graze among trees that provide shade and additional fodder. As we've seen, water buffaloes are truly the unsung heroes of global agriculture. These remarkable animals support millions of families, contribute billions to economies, and provide essential nutrition to populations across the developing world. While they may not have the high profile of cattle in Western agriculture, their impact on global food security is immeasurable. The next time you enjoy mozzarella cheese on your pizza or sample exotic cuisines featuring buffalo meat, remember the 208 million water buffaloes and the millions of farmers whose livelihoods depend on them. In a world of increasing food insecurity, the humble water buffalo represents one of humanity's most valuable living resources, and their contribution is only expected to grow in the decades ahead. From the rice paddies of Southeast Asia to the dairy farms of India, from the meat processing plants of Uttar Pradesh to dining tables across the Middle East, Europe, and beyond, the story of the water buffalo is truly a global one. It's a story of resourcefulness, sustainability, and the remarkable partnership between humans and animals that has sustained civilizations for thousands of years. Drop down your views in the comments and subscribe for another video.